What's up, family? Thank you for joining Young Visionary TV, where our focus is ministry, education, and youth empowerment. This episode is entitled Room 3 Speaks. I had a former student come to me and say that he wanted to create a space where him and his peers could share their thoughts and different perspectives on the different things going on in our nation. So I thought, what better place than Room 3? We're also joined by another great educator, Mr. Manley Moore. So sit back and listen and check out what our students have to say. Oh, and welcome to Room 3. So what's y'all thoughts about the whole COVID situation?
I feel like I'm not gonna say it's like over exaggerated, but I just feel like we all know how to social distance now. We all know how to use hand sanitizer and keep our masks on. I feel like stuff should be going back to normal, but it's not. We're staying the same.
Okay.
Also,
I agree with. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
No, go ahead.
I agree with what you're saying. Like, I feel like at this point, we've been in this situation long enough to where people know what they should be doing and the precautions they should be taking. And then I feel like that's not the problem, but the problem comes when people don't do it. Like, people know what they should be doing and how to do it, but they still choose not to, you know?
Am I the only one that gets mad when I'm in Walmart or I go into like a food store, like Chipotle? I'm door dashing and I turn around and old dude back here and his wife ain't got a mask on. Am I the only one that get mad?
No.
I turn around and then I go,
oh, yeah.
This ain't your
I
class.
get mad. I'm sorry. I get mad when people have masks on, but it's not covering their nose.
Yes.
And like so annoying.
I'm saying here, like, how you think it's spreading? Like, how? that's the whole point.
I think one thing that bothers me, I think, is like, so like how we get a notification about when somebody tested positive and stuff. Like for instance, somebody got tested positive at the school Monday.
Yeah.
But they didn't tell us till 3 days later. And they're saying that they don't want to cause a panic, but it's like then you already caused some panic already because like you got people wondering like, oh, am I sick now? Like I had no idea somebody tested positive.
Word.
So you can be like wondering like, dang, I got to quarantine myself again. And it's like the whole like, wearing your mask under your nose, like then what's the point of you wearing the mask?
Yeah.
Like you just like kind of like you're gonna prolong what's happening right now and stuff.
Right.
So with
I agree.
COVID, you guys being students during COVID, do you feel like you are personally giving your all because of COVID, or do you think a lot of people are using COVID as a excuse just to like, oh, they ain't gonna check this work, so I'm gonna go ahead about my business and do what I want?
I think it's both.
Yeah,
I think it's both.
For me personally, I'm like trying to give my all. Like I try to do everything I should be doing, but then people around me are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So then it makes me like look like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So I don't know. It's a whole idea.
That makes sense.
Have y'all had to check your mental state lately?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
Yes.
Because
like especially because I'm a really social person, and like not being able to hang out with my friends, like calling them on the weekend and being like, let's go to the mall or let's go do something, and it's like you can't. So
Felt that.
Yeah.
Felt that.
I think the like when we started football practice during the summer, that was like the only like time I got to see other people.
Exactly.
And it was like it's weird because again, like she said, she's a social person. It's like whenever you're not
exactly.
It's like you're like it's weird for you to go back out having to interact with people again because like you've been gone for like 5 months. Quarantine, so it's like it's weird.
Right. Yeah.
Learn social skills all over again.
Yeah, I had to restart.
And some of us, I know it was a struggle for me to come out of my shell in high school. So now it's just like, okay, if I go back in, ain't no coming back out no more. I need to I need y'all adapt. All right, Malachi, go ahead and slide to the next question.
For COVID, how do you guys think we can move on and get back to a better normal life with COVID?
I think I know like you guys are saying before, like it's just safety, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like when it comes to not just caring about yourself, this is where your selflessness has to come in.
Mm-hmm.
And selfish, you know, about, oh, I don't need a
Yeah.
mask, or 'cause some people literally have like asthma or high risk conditions that they can literally die from this, you know. So it's not just about
Right.
ourselves anymore. We have to start thinking about other people, you know.
Yeah.
But I also think just maturing also, because I see some adults that are even like, I don't need a mask. What are masks doing? Like, okay, like you're way more mature than me or anybody else, but you don't know that you have to keep a mask on, you know.
Right.
So I
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're right.
maturing and being
Mm-hmm. Right.
I agree with that
Mm-hmm.
because, like, um, I mean, also just because the generation is coming up right now,
Yeah.
like we have upcoming freshmen and sophomores and juniors, the adults, like right now during this time, also for some people, if they're not wearing a mask and stuff, that's gonna set example for somebody younger than them. Like, oh, okay, well, this is like they're doing this, so then I should be doing the same thing because they're
Right.
an adult and they have more knowledge than me. So they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
think that, and it's like at this time, like not even just being an adult, if like an upperclassman, just like setting a better example for the younger
Right.
person, you have to hold yourself accountable for those type of things.
Facts. I agree.
All right, I'm gonna try to turn some heat on in this conversation. All right, so who all saw the debate yesterday?
Woo!
Okay,
Woo!
so before
That
you
was.
That was foolish.
raise your hand if you were like anxious to see the debate, like if you was like,
Yeah.
I gotta turn on the TV tonight.
Kind of,
I'll say
pretty
that was
much.
anxious.
Why do you think so many people were like
Like
excited to see
both.
the debate?
Because
I feel like
go ahead.
I feel like this election is like not like any other. Like this is
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Morgan, what was
Sure,
you about to say?
Like,
Yeah.
especially considering the times that we're in now, like looking at it, like the exact situation we're in now with COVID and everything else is going on. Like, I feel like that just gives people even more of a reason, like, to be looking at the ballot of
Mm-hmm.
who they want to choose and stuff. So that puts the pressure on so much more to the candidates of what they're going to say, how they're going to say it, and making sure they choose.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, making sure they choose the right
Yeah.
thing to get
Yeah.
the vote,
Okay.
because it's just crazy. Like, I don't know. It's just all about perspective.
You're exactly
Yeah.
because
Also, I feel like I'm sorry, go ahead.
you're fine. Go ahead.
I also feel like our generation like is like paying more attention now because like we can see like what's actually going on and like
Mm-hmm.
what we need to know for our future.
And you know the crazy
Right.
thing about that is, I was sitting here thinking last night. I was like, "Yo, this is a huge, like, this is something huge. Like, this is something."
Right. Exactly.
But
Exactly.
I sat here and thought, I was like, "Hold on. When I was your age, Obama was trying to be elected, and then I'm saying
Uh-huh.
like, this is huge because this is the first time we've had a person of color go into the White House, and then the next couple years, it was like it was Trump against who?
Hillary,
Hillary.
Bernie
Hillary Clinton.
Sanders.
That was huge because we've never had a
Because it was
woman
a
in the
female,
office
yeah.
before, and it just really hit me because I was just like, this goes to show that every election
Oh.
may have a different scenario, but every election is just as important as the next one and the one
Yeah.
that makes sense. But I definitely agree that
That does make sense.
this is one that needs to be paid attention to.
I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it's something else that made it interesting is that we have been oversaturated with media's perspective of Trump and Biden, to where we're kind
Yeah.
of, anytime we hear Trump or Biden now, even if you for either one of them, you kind of like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm rolling my eyes."
Yeah.
Last night gave us the opportunity
Yeah.
to hear it straight from their mouths, not how the media interpreted. No, how Trump says fake news.
Right.
There was none of that. We got to hear
Facts.
it firsthand how they were saying before the media, because most of what we get now, the media has already watered it down, or they've hyped it up
Yeah.
where like it is gonna make us
Right.
upset or feel some type of way. But last night we got a chance to see it in the
Mhm.
actual media, and we got to come and form our own conclusions about either candidate.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
shade room. We had
That's good.
The
Yeah.
shade room.
we knew exactly what they said and how they felt and how they be acting behind closed doors.
Right.
What are y'all feelings about last night?
It was too much.
Yeah.
What you mean?
It was
Trump
too much.
needed to be quiet. The moderator needed to let Trump talk, and I don't know. Biden was just on a whole nother level. Like he had some good points. I'll admit that, but I don't know. He's just all of it was too much.
Mhm.
My head was like, what?
What
Which
are we doing here?
yeah.
William, how you
Right.
feel?
I want to hear this. Okay. So I feel like it really was a mess because looking at it, because I can admit last year's when they had the debates, I wasn't really paying attention to it that much, but I did pay attention to then. But this one I paid attention to it like a lot more. And after looking at it, it just felt like it was like watching two kids fight.
Uh-huh.
Because it's
Oh
like
my gosh, yes.
they're just being like there were points whenever
Yeah.
like Trump was talking over the moderator, he was getting like yelling at him, and the moderator, it just felt like he wasn't doing like that good of a job at like
Yeah.
because like, the
Yeah.
questions he was asking and
Yeah.
stuff, and then
Yeah.
Trump would not answer some of the questions, but he would bring up something, and then Biden would try and bring up something. It was just like all of it is like going in the same loop. Like nobody's getting a straight answer out of anything.
Facts.
Mm.
And it
So
seemed like it got to the point where they weren't even talking about politics anymore. They just were taking jabs at each other. Like it started becoming petty. Like
It
I
was
was
kind of
like,
funny
oh
though.
my gosh, I know. I'm
It
like,
was kind of
they're out
funny
here
though.
exposing each other.
It was kind of funny though.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, wow, dude, wow, dude.
Somebody suggested that moving forward, the moderator ought to be able to have like a mute button.
Mute, yes, yes.
To
Oh my
where if
gosh.
somebody's their mic shuts off, and then but then I just see somebody like
Yelling.
still yelling.
Yes, yes.
that's not gonna. It's
Still
like,
yelling across the podium or the platform. It just I don't know.
I thought it was like Jerry Springer on that debate, bro.
It really,
start
it
fighting
really
and all
was
that.
because it made me think like, okay, these, how did we get here? Like,
Yeah.
like I hate being in a place where we have to really see people like this, leaders.
Yeah.
One of the most important, if not the most important job in the United States.
It
And
is.
this is how y'all acting.
Oh, I told Mr. Johnson this. I was like, when they first came out, they was greeting each other. I was like, oh, this is about to be a good debate. It was the total opposite. Like, it was crazy. I was disappointed in both of them, to be honest.
When they said they weren't gonna shake hands is when I knew stuff was just gonna not go good.
Yeah.
Like
I was just here for the comment.
Yeah.
So my question is, okay, talk about why you feel like everybody was so anxious to see this, but what are some things that are going on right now that makes this election so important? What are some things that have been going on in these last 4 years or this year or everything like that that causes so much heat and debate over this season?
The obvious social climate of everything going on right now.
Talk to us about it.
I feel like a big thing is not just the protest and the deaths and all that, not just COVID. I feel like it's also more than that. Like a lot of people have different opinions, and everyone's opinion I feel like should be able to be respected. Maybe not agree with them, but hear them out because that can go a long way. You might not agree with what someone has to say, but maybe if you can hear why they feel this way or what their reasoning is, maybe you can also explain your reasoning and why you believe what you believe, and you guys can come to some kind of meeting point.
That was good.
And I don't know. I feel like
Good.
that's just a big thing right now. And I feel like the way the two of them behaved, Biden and Trump, the way the two of them behaved last night, that just totally proved the opposite. Like they could not hear each
Right.
other out at all. Like it
Yeah.
was sad, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
What Maya, what do you
Yeah.
think is like what are some ingredients in this big old pot that's like being thrown in that's just like got everybody real stirred up right now?
I don't. I feel like, of course, like everybody thinking Trump is like racist, and then you have Biden that's all for the African American people. You know, I think Trump. I feel like. I feel like he's not saying the things that a president needs to say in times
Yeah.
like this. He's
Mm-hmm.
talking about random stuff that doesn't need to be talked about. Like that's not the main focus. Like, but he's not speaking on all of the African Americans that are getting killed, all of the injustice in America that needs to be talked about. I feel like he's being like a child, basically. If
Yeah.
you look at his Twitter, it's nothing about the injustice in America. It's nothing about the debt or the I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like he's just not saying what needs to be said in this time.
That's
Like
good.
as you should be speaking out about things that need to be spoken out about, but not about childish stuff, you know?
Right.
I feel like
Yeah.
Biden feels like he doesn't have to speak on those issues because in his eyes, black people are so anti-Trump that Biden doesn't have to say anything to win those votes. He's like, I'm gonna let Trump dig his own hole, dig his own grave, and let him bury in it. And then all the black votes are gonna come running to me. I don't have to speak on police brutality because they don't like how Trump has handled it. So they automatically assume that me, Biden, is gonna do a better job, but that's an awesome point, Maya.
I had I had to learn myself that it was I think I was telling Malachi this the other day that from that perspective, what the leaders need to know, but also what the people voting for the leaders need to know. Because I'm learning that just because somebody is supporting Trump does not make them racist altogether. I'm learning that they're trying to, like, some people are now, some people may be. Now, let me not dictate. Let's not forget that.
Right.
But I cannot put everybody that is a Trump supporter in the, oh, they're against Black lives or they're against everything else. Because everything that Obama went for, I wasn't for.
Yeah.
But I supported him. So one thing I think that people have to realize is just because they are voting for him doesn't mean they take everything of him. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Which kind of makes everything so intense because of the way that he carries himself as a leader. So like all the characteristics, like everything that he's showing on Twitter, everything, I like it's hard for me to see, okay, what's your plan here? Because all this stuff is so I'm learning I gotta check people, not check people and be like, oh, so you but I had to realize, everybody's heart isn't the same. Same thing with Biden supporters.
Right. Can I say something real quick about that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I agree on that. Like me, you, Mr. Moore were talking about the other day. Like you said, it really matters about who you are as a person. Not saying that there's not any, racist Trump supporters or bad Biden supporters, but you really got to look at who they are as a person, and just like Morgan said, you got to be open to what and respect to what they believe in, and not just be like, oh, you like Trump, you're racist, or you like Biden, you're this, you're that. You know what I'm saying? So I completely agree with what y'all just said.
Yeah, I think.
So I'm a Trump supporter, but I swear I do not have a racist bone in my body, and I've lost so many friends because I am a Trump supporter, and I think that's so crazy that people base friendships off of that.
Yeah, that's stupid. That's dumb.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, I think being I'm a Christian, and so there's a lot of things that I believe, I I I live by.
Right.
So it's not that I support the person, but
Mhm.
I've had to talk to my dad about this because I've gotten looked at certain ways when I say if I could vote, I would vote for Trump.
Mhm.
Um, because of the fact that I'm a Christian and there's things that I believe and there are things that
Right.
I live by. Um,
That's good.
so it's not about the person, but I feel like it's about the policy. That's what my dad had to explain to me, that yeah, the person is he might be a horrible person. He might have done some horrible things in the past or
Yeah.
now, but it's about his policy and what he wants to do for America, what he believes in, and what he
Yeah.
wants to fix in America. So it's not the person that I support, it's the policy that I support.
And I'm glad you said that because I feel like it seems like to me that everyone I'm not backing anybody up. I'm just saying it seems like everybody's expecting Trump to be perfect. And whoever is the next president, Biden or Trump, you can't expect them to be perfect. People are gonna make mistakes. We're people, but you can't. I feel like you can't jump on them, whoever it is, on every little thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah, we can't expect our president to be perfect. We can't.
right,
What we now my expectation for anybody
right,
in leadership, just like y'all have the expectation for me as a teacher, is to uphold
right.
myself as such the honor that deserves that platform. Does that
Yeah,
make
you're right.
so?
You're right.
Um, and there's a lot of stuff that people got to go through to get there. And if you just negating all that stuff while you in office, it just like it
Hmm.
it just
Yeah,
it bothers. And I know that's why a lot of people are bothered because some people that get leadership positions
right.
don't represent the character
Hmm.
and the respect and the honor that goes toward that position. If that
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
which kind and I'll go back to what I was saying was which kind of hinders people from actually seeing if he has good policies or if he has bad
Right.
policies because of their character. Um,
He
they
has to do a better job on that. He has to.
Let
that's
me say, let me say this. So unlike any other, my first time being able to vote, 18 years old,
Yeah.
was 2007 when Obama became president. Since then, I have not critiqued and
Okay.
examined my own personal politics like I have today.
good.
Um, and I say that to say,
Yeah.
I have not endorsed anybody yet. Trump, Biden, I have not endorsed anybody yet. But I say that to say is, to Maya's point, sometimes we get caught up on Trump's character,
Hmm.
personality, his persona. Like he is not a polished individual.
Right.
He is the rusty tool in the shed house that's just, he's not the fancy nice car. He is like just, the old pickup truck. He is not polished at all. But and me and my wife and I, we had this conversation. Let's just say, what if we took all of Trump's policies and put them on another candidate with a better
Yeah.
personality, with a
Mhm.
would that change our mind about who? Because if we get so focused on who he is as a person and not what he would do, because a lot of times, they are empty promises, but we hope they say that they're going to do what they do when we get in office. What would it
Right.
look like if we took his policies and put them in another candidate who was a little bit more articulate, who was a little bit more polished? Would that?
Yeah.
I know when Obama was president, well, actually, on the last election, there was this guy interviewing people on the streets. And what he would do, he'll say, who are you voting for? And somebody would say, Hillary. And they will say, well, did you know Hillary is going to do this? But what they say would be something Trump said he was going to do. And that interview let us know that most people don't know the policies behind the people that they're voting for. They're,
Right.
they're either anti, I don't like the way he treat people. I don't like his character, his personality. I don't
Yeah.
like Joe Biden. I think he's old. I think he's gonna die in office. You know what I mean? Like, and we've got to really be able to narrow down and first critique our own policies first.
That's good.
Our own politics. Look at our own character. Sometimes, to be honest, sometimes we've acted like Trump. Like we're not perfect.
Yeah.
We're not perfect. You know, we can what you say, clap back, snap back, whatever y'all be saying.
Wicked in a hurry.
We can go off too, but we got to get to a point where we really, really make sure that we keep the main things, and don't major.
Family, thank you for hanging with us. Listen, stay tuned for part 2 of this conversation because things get a little bit deeper. All right, so check us out on the next episode. Thank you.